In the previous chapter, after completing his mission, Chen Feng received a gift from Sun Yan in gratitude for saving her life once again. She gave him a black rock crystal, an essential item for evolving a turtle pet beast. He was immensely thankful for her generosity. After saying their goodbyes, Chen Feng made his way back to the city. On his journey, he made sure to slay every beast he encountered, focusing on leveling up his defense abilities and gathering as much loot as possible. Once he returned and had a chance to rest, Chen Feng headed straight to the Adventurers Association to claim his reward and turn in the monster corpses he had collected. His arrival caused a stir, as the sheer number of corpses he presented was shocking to everyone at the association. Despite this impressive display, there were still a few salty individuals who doubted his abilities and ridiculed him for having an ornamental beast. But Chen Feng didn't care about the opinions of weaklings. Only those with true power could dictate him, and so he presses forward without ever looking back. Now on to the next part. Chen Feng returned to his apartment, feeling both accomplished and exhausted. He summoned Turtle Bro from his pocket accessory, watching fondly as his pet turtle continued to nap peacefully. Turtle Bro had been through a lot, and Chen Feng decided not to disturb him, allowing the little creature to rest and recharge. As he looks at him, Chen Feng started to strategize his next steps for improvement. He pondered deeply and came to a conclusion that focusing on pure defensive evolution seemed the most logical, especially when turtle spirit pets were known for their defensive prowess and rarely developed attack skills. And by honing Turtle Bro's defensive capabilities, focusing on the thing they are good at, they could easily reach their peak potential and maximize their skills' potency, rather than sacrificing effectiveness for versatility. Additionally, he theorized that as Turtle Bro's other skills improved, his counterattack abilities might also see significant enhancement. And since he now had the necessary materials for Turtle Bro's evolution, it is best to focus on the rock turtle evolution path and reach the bronze level first. This path was reputed for its robust defensive attributes, which aligned perfectly with their goals. But before proceeding, he realized he needed more information about the black rock crystal he had received. The crystal was said to be crucial for the evolution, but he wanted to understand its properties better. But as he holds the crystal in front of Turtle Bro, he unintentionally waked it up from its slumber. And surprisingly, it was immediately drawn to its glow. And seeing his pet's reaction, Chen Feng wonders what's the main reason it suddenly got interested on it. And the more he looks at his pet, the more curious he becomes, as the turtle started to show crackhead behavior, attempting to nibble a chunk out of the rock. And Chen Feng could feel Turtle Bro's desire for this crystal, which made him raise an eyebrow. And this was unusual because in general, pets did not exhibit such strong reactions to evolution materials, as their evolution is controlled by their owners, rather than controlled by themselves. But if that's the case, why the hell is his turtle acting unwise towards this crystal so much? It was even tweaking as he confiscated the rocks from it. The turtle continued to reach for the rock, making soft noises of protest, while Chen Feng couldn't shake off the feeling that there was something significant about this crystal that he didn't yet understand. Why was Turtle Bro so drawn to it? What properties did this crystal possess that elicited such a strong reaction? Realizing he needed answers, Chen Feng thought of Sun Yan, the one who had given him the crystal. She might have more knowledge about its origins and properties. Just as he was about to contact her, he remembered with a sinking feeling that he hadn't asked for her contact information. Frustration washed over him. It was a foolish oversight on his part. Still, this setback wouldn't stop Chen Feng. Deep down, he felt that his little turtle might have a special bloodline or unique trait, and the black rock crystal in his possession could be the key to unlocking that hidden power. Driven by this thought, he decided to take his pet to the Alliance Pet Hospital for a thorough examination. Upon arriving at the hospital, Chen Feng handed Turtle Bro to an expert for a detailed analysis. The examination room was filled with advanced equipment, and Turtle Bro was placed in a high-tech device that suspended him in mid-air. The aura-like mechanism of the device seeped through every fiber of Turtle Bro's being, enabling the experts to gather comprehensive data. Chen Feng watched anxiously as the examination proceeded. He hoped that the results would confirm his suspicions about Turtle Bro's potential. After a few tense moments, the experts concluded their analysis and reported back to him. They confirmed that his pet was perfectly healthy, but unfortunately, Turtle Bro was still classified as an ornamental-grade beast. And if that wasn't enough, the doctor handed Chen Feng a detailed report generated by the machine. Chen Feng eagerly scanned through the information, looking for any hint of uniqueness. However, as the doctor had stated, Turtle Bro was quite ordinary. There were no signs of special ancestry or unique characteristics. The only faint glimmer of hope was a minuscule percentage indicating the possibility of an unknown attribute. Chen Feng couldn't help but feel a bit disappointed, so it seems like he had been so optimistic, hoping for a breakthrough that would explain Turtle Bro's unusual behavior towards the black rock crystal. But even as his hopes dimmed, he reminded himself of what truly mattered. and that Turtle Bro's health and well-being were more important. And regardless of lineage or innate traits, he believed that with hard work and dedication, and a little bit of help from the system, they could achieve extraordinary things together. And thus, he left the Alliance Pet Hospital just like when he arrived there. Nothing but determination. A few moments later, Chen Feng returned to his apartment, determined to find information about the black crystal in the association's system. He searched diligently, but no matter how hard he tried, he either found nothing or was denied access to the relevant data. This was extremely frustrating, but he refused to give up. There was something undeniably special about this crystal based on its appearance. The fact that Su Nian's father, a man with a keen eye for valuables, had given away this peculiar-looking crystal so easily was intriguing. Furthermore, the lack of information in the association's system made the crystal even more mysterious. With all these factors in mind, Chen Feng considered two possibilities. Either this black crystal was so precious that it was beyond Su Li's recognition, or it was of almost no value to him, which is why he gave it to Su Nian, who then gave it to him. But with the limited information he had, it was impossible to determine the true nature of the crystal. It seems like he can only continue his investigation after he gathers more information about Turtle Bro's evolution, and so he did just that. According to the article he found, aside from the obvious item which is the rock crystal, they needed a combination of self-healing ability, defensive ability, and specific wood attribute elixirs. These elixirs were crucial as they could unlock the potential of pets. He needed two kinds of elixirs for the evolution. The first elixir was the ice crystal plant, a wood-type elixir that could enhance Turtle Bro's self-healing and defensive capabilities. Its price ranged between 7 million to 10 million alliance coins. The second elixir was the Gujing Vine, another wood-type elixir that not only enhanced self-healing abilities, but also imparted toxin resistance. This elixir was much more expensive, with prices ranging from 80 million to 300 million alliance coins. Based on these requirements, Chen Feng calculated that he needed at least 100 million alliance coins to acquire these items, which made him laugh sarcastically, since he would have to sell his soul to the grind just to accumulate such an enormous amount. But price aside, these plants were extremely rare, and those who owned them usually didn't sell them through the Adventurers Guild. This meant he would likely have to find them himself. But first things first, he needed to access the Adventurers Association's Elixir database to find the sellers of these items, just to make sure, while also gathering some info on where to locate the said items. Unfortunately, things didn't go as smoothly as Chen Feng had hoped. Even after 3 days of relentless searching, he still hadn't found anything satisfactory. This only added to his frustration, but his determination was not in vain. It eventually led him to an article about a rare material discovered after the recent beast tide in the northern district, which immediately caught Chen Feng's interest. The post detailed the discovery of a snow jade lotus, an item so rare that many believed it to be a legend, but legitimate researchers says otherwise, as they obtained one by sheer luck in the past, due to the fact that the creation of this lotus required very specific conditions, which were nearly impossible to replicate. But after the recent beast wave, those conditions had been met. Researchers had noticed an elemental reaction in the vicinity, leading them to believe that the snow jade lotus had formed in the heart of the northern district. And this snow jade lotus was incredibly valuable, possessing ice, wood, and water attributes. Even its self-healing abilities were so potent that it could restore severed limbs instantly, so it was considered an ultimate grade material, far superior to the ordinary grade rockhorn Chen Feng currently had. And if he could find this snow jade lotus, it would greatly enhance Turtle Bro's ability to heal, and when combined with his absolute defense, the effects would be astounding. But finding this lotus required venturing into the northern zone, a dangerous endeavor. Chen Feng knew he needed to form a team to avoid the perils he had faced last time. With this in mind, he headed to the Adventurers Association to check the mission board for tasks that required entering the northern district. As expected, all these missions were rated B or A, necessitating a team, a perfect setup for Chen Feng. So now he just needed to find who was applying for these missions to form his team. Luckily for him, he didn't have to search that hard, as he overheard a conversation on the other side of the hall involving Black Robe, the same guy who had been drinking nearby when he first joined. It seemed that Black Robe was inviting a few people to participate in a B-level mission in the northern district. This immediately shocked everyone, as they felt it was above their capabilities. They knew it would be impossible for them to handle such a task. Still, as adventurers, they couldn't simply decline without hearing more about the rewards and details. Maybe, just maybe, it would be an easy task, and so they asked Black Robe to explain further, and he did just that. He informed everyone that this wasn't an ordinary B-level mission. It was issued by the military itself, so the rewards were substantial. including a significant number of association points, a currency that allows trainers to buy rare and powerful items, unlike the common ones circulated among low-level trainers, which can only buy basic potions and items. This was a tempting reward, but the group knew it was impossible for them. A task issued by the military wouldn't be easy, unlike any other B-level missions. They even questioned if Black Robe was in his right mind. Despite the allure of association points, they knew it would be pointless if they couldn't return alive. They were terrified of entering the Northern District, especially after the recent beast wave. And it wasn't like there weren't other missions to choose from, so why bother with this impossible one? With this in mind, they decided to back out. But even with this outcome, Black Robe persevered, asking everyone in the association, but the answers were always the same. No one wanted to go on a military mission, knowing it wouldn't be easy. So it seems like this mission was a lost cause. And even the bystanders thought Black Robe was foolish for even considering this. He was a reputable sea-level member, so he shouldn't be a pawn for the military, especially when they didn't send their own people to deal with the mission. These military officials must think adventurers are fools. But Black Robe kept trying, which caught Chen Feng's attention, and so he concluded that this guy must have a specific reason for taking on this task. With this in mind, Chen Feng decided to approach him when he was alone. Even though he was only a D-class adventurer, he had ways to convince the guy, and that is to challenge him to a duel to prove his strength. And just as Chen Feng expected, with no one joining Black Robe's party, he left the Adventurers Association, and Chen Feng followed closely behind, so close that Black Robe quickly noticed. With this, Black Robe led Chen Feng to a secluded area, in which he quickly confronted Chen Feng for being this bold. But being both members of the Adventurers Association, Black Robe decided to give Chen Feng a chance to explain himself before taking any drastic measures. And Chen Feng went straight to the point, stating that he wanted to join Black Robe's team. Black Robe, however, wasn't interested in letting a newbie join him, so he quickly dismissed this foolish idea. But Chen Feng remained persistent, trying to convince him by recounting all his achievements, including how he had entered the Northern District and survived the Beast Tide. But this only made Black Robe laugh, as words were just words after all, and without proof they carried no weight. So it was obvious that Black Robe wasn't convinced, and just brushed off the newbie, believing this mission was far beyond his abilities. But Chen Feng had anticipated this reaction, so just as planned, he challenged Black Robe to a duel. Luckily for Chen Feng, Black Robe was an open-minded person. He didn't take this challenge as an insult, but respected Chen Feng's determination. With this, he decided to give Chen Feng a chance, proposing that if Chen Feng could survive 3 attacks from him, he would consider letting him join his team. To Black Robe's surprise, Chen Feng seemed unfazed by the condition, even questioning if Black Robe was sure about this challenge. Black Robe realized he might need to teach this newbie a lesson in humility. Summoning his own spirit beast, a ferocious grade flame monkey, Black Robe prepared for the duel, and due to Chen Feng's level increase, he could now see the beast's characteristics, noting its high agility, hot temper, and powerful attacks. In response, Chen Feng summoned Turtle Bro, who looked ready to give some fade. But this sight only made Black Robe laugh, as he found the idea of an ornamental pet standing against his flame monkey absurd. So he suggested Chen Feng to give up now to avoid hurting his cute little pet. But Chen Feng is a menace and just doubles down with the insults, taunting Black Robe and calling him a coward for fearing his little pet. He even declared he would only use defensive skills as a handicap unless Black Robe was afraid of losing face. And this provocation was super effective, as Black Robe and his flame monkey were ready to attack, eager to shut Chen Feng up. And so the flame monkey charged, focusing all its energy into its fist and launching it at Chen Feng. Chen Feng activated his absolute defense, successfully blocking the attack. Surprisingly, the flame monkey was immune to the stun debuff and continued its assault, giving him that extra combo he ordered. But seeing that attack wasn't effective, Black Robe ordered his pet to step back. And since Chen Feng seems to have some skills to back his yapping mouth, Black Robe decided to spice things up. Meanwhile, Chen Feng's confidence grew, thinking he can outlast their attacks, as he felt the flame monkey's strikes were weaker than those of the snow wolf he had previously faced. But this complacency nearly cost him his face, as the flame monkey, moving with incredible speed, doing some instant transmission to deliver a sudden fiery punch. But Chen Feng still managed to block it with his shield, showing to them that he meant business. And as the monkey steps away again, he mocks them, demanding they show their real power, cause their previous attacks ain't shit. And personally, Black Robe can't let a newbie talk to him like that, and seeing that this trash-talking newbie got a great defense in him, Black Robe felt like he doesn't have to hold back anymore. With this, he commanded his flame monkey to use their special attack, the Exploding Punch, a powerful skill that sacrifices one's own defense as it concentrates all the pet's energy into one point, ready to be unleashed in a devastating blow. And observing the energy fluctuations, Chen Feng knew he was in for a ride, and so he clenched his cheeks and solidified his stance. And just as he expected, the attack was so powerful that it released a massive pillar of explosion visible from miles away, catching everyone off guard as fighting inside the walls are prohibited. So the two were in for a trouble. But that would be on the later part, as we had reached the latest chapter, so stay tuned.